G'day, there are many respects the Nats have made the right call. I mean, if Bridges had won, what would that have told us? Or what would we have found out? He had a bunch of people in his own caucus who didn't think he could do the job, basically, and if they didn't think that, well, what would we make of it? The way they handled it, though, has been abysmal, though, don't you think? I mean, if Simon Bridges was your problem, if Simon Bridges wasn't the answer, then that didn't happen yesterday, it didn't happen last week, or indeed when COVID struck. It happened when they gave him the job in the first place, which is why Stephen Joyce should have had it. And how many people now look back, do you reckon, and concede indeed that would have been a better choice? The unfairness for Bridges is he didn't get a crack at an election. I mean, he did all that crappy work, all the hard yards, and he got shafted with the finish line, so to speak, in sight. And so to Muller. What a job, eh? I mean, who is he for a start? Is he any different from Bridges? And by that I mean he's liked, he's bright, of course, but then so are most of them. Being affable isn't a skill, it's what you're born with. The key here is there magic? Is there an X factor? Is there something that transforms you from just a decent person who aspires to lead their party and therefore their country into a person who actually attracts votes, turns tides, explain things in a way that people get? Is something or someone that has that magnetic factor that marks you out as different from the rest? For that is what is needed now. The polls will be closing. They always do, of course. History tells us that. National are good with the economy. They always have been. But not only does Muller need to introduce himself, convince enough people he has all the aforementioned qualities, but then set about dismantling the government's approach to the economy, the catastrophe currently besetting the country. Is he the Ardern to Labor's little? I mean, who would know? He's not female, he's not that young, he's not that well known, certainly not as well known as she was when she arrived. If this is a salvage job, I mean, if they're merely looking to stem the flow, that's an easier job, but he claims he's not. If they're looking for a real chance at the big time, and he claims he is, they've taken a massive, panicked risk. I wish him well, because above all else, no matter what side you're on, who you support, it is critical, like it never has been, to have an effective, functioning, united, experienced opposition making the government honest and offering genuine choice to the punter.